Hello everyone, this is Jama Malmy and I'm going to be making an Easter card for you today, and it's going to be an Easter shaker card, and I'm going to use some new paper. So this is a couple of the patterns from one of our new paper collections that will be available in May. And I'm using this set, which is called Bunny Trail, which is currently available, and it will be available through April. So it's actually going to be retiring the end of April before this paper is available. But I just thought it was so cute with this little bunny that looks like a mini peep. And I'm going to be using this sentiment, Bunny Kisses and Easter Wishes. I thought that was super cute. I'm going to be sending this to my niece and nephew. So I'm going to get started on how I assemble this. So I pre-cut everything just so that I could do this in real time this time instead of speeding it up, and it wouldn't take forever. I'm going to be using, I'm going to be doing a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch card. So I cut the blue base to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I cut this to 4 by 5 1/4. And then I cut this to 3/4 by 5 1/2. So it's going to extend the full height of the card. All right, so first I am going to adhere this onto my base. And then I'm going to put this piece like so. All right, now I'm going to do my stamping for inside of my shaker window. So go ahead and take this sentiment off here. Grab a block. So since I haven't used this stamp before, I'm just going to season it on my hand to get some of the manufacturing gunk off. And the oils from my hand kind of help with that. You can use your arm. You can use sometimes I use a stamp pad and I kind of swivel it like this and stamp off a couple times. You can use a rub and remove eraser or anything like that. So I pulled out these ink pads. I've got Peach, Heather, Pewter, and Sapphire, which are all in this paper collection. And I was thinking I would do the sentiment in a gray because I want it kind of dark. I've already got a lot of color with the blue, and by the way, I'm using the light side of the Sapphire cardstock. So our cardstock is two-sided, so you see that this side is a little too dark to go with these flowers, but the light side is a lighter shade of the same color, so that works perfectly with this. So even though I do have the Sapphire ink, it's going to be too dark for this card that I'm doing. So I think I'm going to go with one of the grays. Now Heather is one of the colors that's in this kit, but I feel like I want it a little bit darker. So I got the pewter. I've got charcoal too, but I think this might be a little too dark for what I'm going for. So we'll try the pewter. Now, I got a little smudge on this, but it's okay because the shaker window is actually going to cover that. Mostly and the ring also on top, so you can tell right there it's not even going to show. So I'm not going to worry about that. All right. I still like to, even though I seasoned it, I still like to kind of twist it on my ink pad a little. That's just personal preference. You probably don't need to. And it fits perfectly. So this circle and this ring all come in the shaker window die set. This is what it looks like. Shaker window and confetti die set. So this one cuts this that goes behind the shaker. This cuts the ring that's going to cover the top of it, which you'll see in a minute. And then these cut confetti. So I cut the hearts in the same blue cardstock. And then after I cut them, I realized one side of the hearts is going to be dark and one side of it's going to be light. So I'll see how it looks once I put them in, and I may not use them. I may or may not, I'm not sure. But I also have this silver confetti mix, which is the silver loose sequins, which I absolutely love. This comes in gold too, and also it's coming in a beautiful multicolor mix starting in May, and then rose gold that are just gorgeous. So I love our sequins. I've used a lot, so it comes with a ton. And there's little stars in here too. Stars of different sizes, different size circles, and white iridescent and silver shiny and silver matte. Love, love, love that mix. It's so pretty. Okay, so I'm done with my stamping here. I'm gonna go ahead and put this gray away. And then for the bunny, I'm thinking I wanna stamp it in peach. So I'm gonna try that out on a scrap piece of paper and see how I like it. Get a little block here. So it's kind of light. Let's start over. There. I think I'm liking that. So if you don't have a MISTI, I am sorry for teasing you with this technique. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this together. On the acetate that comes in the pack, there is a protective film on one side. So I find the easiest way to get that off is to use just a little piece of washi, and it'll stick to it and you can peel it right off. Nice little tip there. All right, and then I also find it easier to put the acetate on here first, rather than lift the foam off and put it on here. I take the acetate, because you can see through it, and put it right on the foam here. And then when you go to lift it up, you kind of have to sometimes hold down the edges, but it's not too difficult, and then you can get the whole thing up. So now you've got the foam around your acetate. Now this is now done as a shaker window, but you've got a whole bunch of foam squares. So now you've got your foam squares. You don't need to buy any more foam squares when you buy the windows, the shaker windows, because you have tons. And so I just keep them where I keep all of my other foam squares. I actually stuffed them all in this another shaker window bag that I know is all of my extras, and I just store them there. I like to make a lot of shaker windows, so I have a lot of foam. I will never run out. All right, so now we need to put our sequin mix in here. You know, I think having the two-sided blue confetti is gonna work out okay. I like the little pop of blue that it adds. Let me just test it out here. Yeah, I'm gonna like that. So I don't think it's gonna bother me that some of them are darker because they're so small. So this little powder tool, anti-static bag, you want to use it on the inside of this shaker because it'll get rid of the static. You saw that one little piece stick and it won't stick with the static anymore. So the sequins tend to be very staticky, and with this especially. So you're eliminating some of that static so they're not gonna stick where you don't want them to. All right, and then I'm gonna go ahead and add some of this sequin mix too. That might be a little too much. Some of the big ones like to come out first before the small sequins, so sometimes you have to kind of really dig in there. Because I don't want all big sequins. There's some cute little stars. I like to stay at the bottom, so sometimes you have to reach in there. There we go. It really gives it a fun look when you have so many different shapes and sizes. Those loose sequins are pretty staticky too. So I've heard that some people put a little cornstarch in the bag and that will help. I haven't done that because I'm a little afraid that there's then going to be some cornstarch mixed in my sequins in my project. But if you've done that and it's worked, then let me know because I would be interested to try it. All right, so just going to make sure that these are not sticking up too high so they don't get stuck under my window. And then I'm going to line up right over there. And you have your super fun and easy shaker window. So in hindsight, I probably should have put a little bit less of the goodies in there because it's hard to read Easter. I think, you know, my Easter wishes. I think my niece and nephew are going to be shaking it around and they'll move it so that they can read it and it'll be okay. But just keep that in mind if you make yours. You might want to put in, either stamp this up higher or put in less of the sequin mix. All right, so now this just gives it that finishing touch so that you don't see the foam. And then the nice stitching gives it that extra finish touch too. So I'm gonna go ahead and glue that on. And to do that, I like to use an adhesive that's a dot adhesive. So Close to My Heart has their own adhesive and it is a dotted adhesive. And the reason I like that is because it's easy to put on the skinny shape. So if you put on a adhesive that's solid, it'll kind of hang off the edges of this skinny piece, and this doesn't. You could also use a liquid adhesive. However, I don't like using a liquid adhesive whenever I can help it because I'm very impatient. I don't like to wait for drying time. Our liquid glass dries pretty quickly, but it's just not necessary when you have this handy little thing. All right, so we got our cute little shaker. I love it. All right, so actually I'm not gonna put that down. I'm not gonna glue it quite yet. I'm gonna cut this out and I am going to fussy cut it. Close to My Heart has a lot of stamp sets that coordinate with dies, but this is not one of them, nor is it necessary because there's just this one little icon in the set and most of the set is sentiments. But I also really don't mind fussy cutting. When you do fussy cut, just remember to turn the paper, not your scissors. you don't want to be going like this. It's much easier if you turn the paper. There we go. That should be good enough. It's not perfect, but it'll work. All right, so I was thinking I'd put this somewhere on here. Now this line being peach, I didn't really want it right over the line. I wanted to draw the eye and that peach somewhere else, so I was thinking of putting it on this side. And then I pulled out these butterflies from my stash. I had punched them. These are a Martha Stewart punch that I've had forever. And whenever I have a bunch of scrap paper in like a fancy paper like this glitter paper, I take this butterfly punch and I just punch out a whole bunch of them so that I'm not wasting any of that paper. I do it with cardstock sometimes too, but since it's a small image and butterflies are super useful, then it just helps me to not waste any of my paper. So I try to pull them out whenever I have a project where I might need a little extra something like this. And I'm not sure how I'm gonna like it, but we'll try it out. That's a little better. I think I'll go with that, and then I'll add some little things scattered around, sequins and stuff. That's cute. Okay. Pot committed now. All right, so I think I'll put these down with a little mini glue dot. And I've got these little micro dots. Now, close to my heart sells these. Can you see those? They're so small. I love them. This is actually the first time I've used the micro glue dots. I've used the mini glue dots before, but these are even tinier. So I'm just putting them under the butterfly's body so that the wings will kind of, I mean, it'll get kind of smushed in the mail, but maybe the wings will kind of stick up a little bit. Looks cute now anyway. I'm gonna kind of curl them too. That way, even if they get smushed in the mail, they might have a little curl to them. All right. Done ski with that part, so I think that I can glue this down now. Cute. Okay. Now this is where I actually, I was gonna say I was gonna use some liquid glue, but I bet I could use these little micro dots for the sequins. Ah, how about that? Never done that before. Okay. Hey, you guys, I love this. Why have these not been in my life before? I cannot even believe it. This is amazing. Okay, have you guys been doing this? Has anyone else been using micro dots for adhering sequins to your cards? Because I totally missed the boat if I have not been using it and everyone else has been. You guys, you need these. You need these in your life. This is what it looks like, micro dots. I cannot believe I have not bought these until now. This is available through Close to My Heart, so you can pick it up when you're buying all these other amazing items. All right, so I think that's done. I think it's good. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it on my card base. Okay. There we go. That turned out so cute, and the sequins made a huge difference, adding them spread around. I really like that. I think I need one more up here. Go ahead and do that. And I am so happy that I now know about using micro dots on the sequins. Ah! I hope I'm not the only one who hasn't been doing that this whole time. All right, here's a closer look. So fun. New paper, current stamps. Let me know if you have any questions. If you want to purchase any of these products, I'll have them all linked below. And I would love it if you subscribe to my channel, give this a big thumbs up so YouTube knows that you like this kind of content. And I'll see you here next time. Thanks for watching.